Well, I accidentally double-clicked, and so I have to put put these two videos together. I guess I'll do that. Accordingly, they are programmed that the state is evil. Well, it is, and it's not programming, it's simply studying the logic of the situation. The state exists by taxation. Taxation is theft. So you're saying that taxation isn't evil. Good to know. You do realize that that's essentially what communism asserts and says for, is the need for taxation. You need to have people being controlled, and that's what you're advocating. So, you're kind of getting your ass to yourself. Little do these idiots know that they actually are the state. Explain this, please. Yes, they have been trained by their masters to hate the state. The state is a people of a country. Oh, fuck. So, you define the state is a people of a country. So now what you're saying is that the state is a people of a country. So, people who are categorized under the designation of a collectivist worldview is what the state is. Okay, sure, because you defined it in a way that necessitates the assumption of the state, because it's of a country, of an imaginary line that is what the statism and state thing and government stuff is. So, yeah, what's your fucking point? Their E-state, S-state, is what belongs to all of them collectively. And the stat-E/us, status, is the condition or the form of their government. So now we're into playing word games. You know, I'd say that their words are very belly feel-good, wouldn't you say? I don't really know how to respond to that gibberish, so I'm going to just continue on. In that, understand that the United States is not a country. They're just playing more of their word games. Okay, where was I? They're just playing more of their... Okay. They're just playing more of their word games by making up language to play out their one-world system via progressivism. Right. In the paragraph where you literally make up terms. State-e, us, status. Okay, sure. You haven't even defined progressivism. You're literally doing exactly, you're literally saying that the people whom you are oppressing are doing what it is that you're doing to them. Talk about a feminist way of viewing things. You see, these people who rule over the noted idiots have demonized the state in order to steal their wealth and their estate. What? You see, these people who rule over the noted idiots have demonized the state in order to steal their wealth and their estate. Wait, so you're saying that the elite have demonized the state in order to steal whose wealth and whose estate? The idiots? Okay. That makes no sense. They have gotten people to foolishly refer to themselves as human resources. Okay, now you're talking about cubicle talk. That's not anarchism. Of course, the plot is to take all the people's states, natural resources. Yeah, I know the goal of the government and the state is to take all of the natural resources and destroy everything. How does that mean that I am advocating that proposal? I don't understand. Tragedy and nope. Here is the plot and the real tragedy. Anarchist free trade and free market are products of Austria, where communism, Austria economics, and the Constitution are from. No, it's not. The Constitution was done over on the Indian Native American lands where the Native Americans were killed by the minarchists. The Constitution was Thomas Jefferson and so forth, who practiced slavery over there and endorsed slavery as an anarchist virtue and reality, as the United States of America, the corporation. To the other thing, I don't exactly know how to respond to that because I have literally never heard that before. I have never heard of Austria being associated with communism. I've heard of Austrian economics, but that generally is the opposite of communism. Keynes would be associated with communism, and then Hayek would be associated with the free market. And Hayek is not a communist. Yes, the Constitution is the first tool for distilling state sovereignty. That's such an ironic phrase. Yes, the Constitution is the first tool for stilling state sovereignty. No, it's actually the first tool of the creation of state sovereignty over the individual, because taxation is stated as the norm. So no, it's just the opposite of that. So from research, all of it is a product of the Ashkenazi Jews. Sure, I can give you that. I don't really care. The bottom line is that the import and export taxation of a state needs to be guarded to protect the people of a particular nation. Why? Why don't we just stop taxation? The damaging process of oh my god, are you seriously advocating communism while you're speaking against communism? You are literally talking about the damaging programs of free trade and the free market actually benefit the, well, that's the corporatists, the quote-unquote capitalists, i.e. the ones with the most capital, to win. No, this is corporatism. It allows them to come into any country/nation and destroy the chance for any fellow countrymen to build and develop their personal local free enterprise within their people. I completely agree, and that is not free trade. You rightly put free trade and free market and products in quotes, because what you're talking about there is corporatism, and that's bullshit. Corporations are legal entities of the state, therefore they are inherently a part of statism. They are part of government. Without government, there are no corporations. To learn more on how this stealthy scam operates within stealth channels, read this paper to better understand the particulars. What's the paper? Is it this thing noted on the bottom? No, that's this thing. Is it PAC Ludwig von Mises Just Evil? Well, okay, let me check that out. And this is a PDF and it's not a link, I'll figure that out later. Having laid the issues of the plot, watch out for their latest crop of useful idiots who call themselves anarchists and voluntarists. I actually quite agree with this assessment because I've met a whole bunch of anarchists and voluntarists who are complete communist assholes. And again, I'll reference Christopher Cantwell and Stefan Molyneux. They both went a really fast nosedive down. They have commandeered them to push the newest program of the Order of the New Age forward. World communism is still the game. It is to be noted that the communist agenda is political, but uses international law to function. The fact is, most of these useful idiots are clueless about law and just follow the agenda. If you want to know more about the stealth of this plan, please refer to this textbook, The Red Amendment, a textbook. This is why we have been consistently saying, watch out for information on the internet. Watch out for the enemy. They are a threat to state sovereignty and small business. And those are anarchists. And then it says plus voluntarists equals communism. No unity, no plan, no law, no win. We get it, most don't. There are lots of plots and planned opposition programs out there. We must unite to end it. People's Awareness Coalition welcomes you. The coalition has been separating the wheat from the chaff since 1998. The primary goal of the PAC is to assist people of America in gaining back their freedoms under the pre-14th Amendment style system of law. So you're not against government, you're for the right type of government. To aid in this endeavor, our latest proposal is entitled the PAC Unification Project. The objective of this project is to provide people with an understanding that working together is required to achieve proper knowledge in our goals. No, you don't advocate working together. You advocate violently enforcing your ideas on other people. You are communists. Please join us in appropriating education and freedom that the republics provide. Republicanism, democratism, any type of government is always communism by default, because it requires stealing things from other people to function. That's what communism is. Communism is where the state owns everything. That's what government does, and is the end goal of all government, period. And here's a note. Actual definition of democracy as evidenced in the U.S. State Code. Title da-da-da-da-da. The term world communism means a revolutionary movement, the purpose of which is to establish, eventually, a communist totalitarian dictatorship in any or all the countries of the world through the medium of an internationally coordinated communist political movement. Now, I completely agree with a lot of this, but I'm kind of the wrong fucking target because I'm an anti-communist. I'm aware of the New Age idiots. I'm not one of them. I'm not a pseudoscientist. I don't advocate bullshit. But you, PAC, P-A-C, do. You have missed the mark. I don't think that gaining back, quote-unquote, the freedoms under the pre-Fourth Amendment constitutional law, which dictates and uses taxation, will bring freedom and prosperity. No, that is a communist document. Now, Thomas Maddox and John Michael Still apparently are admins for this page. And here are the rest of them. And James Lolan has now posted as a reply to this in its own post, how it's done. How to keep simpletons out of the way while you dominate the countries you have taken over. Design a program called Anarchy and send them after fabricated boogeymen called statists. Right, because since the primary goal of the PAC is to assist people of America in getting back the freedoms of slavery under the pre-14th Amendment style system of law by means of being slaves because they don't have a choice as to whether or not they'll participate, it's certainly not you making a program called PAC and attacking people and sending people after boogeymen called anarchists, who, by the way, advocate communism. This is Orwellian doublespeak. So, what are the government measures that I speak of? In reference to you advocating government measures? Your government measure is to go to the pre-14th Amendment style system of law. You want to have law. You want to have government. You want to have exceptions to the rules of society. You are a communist. You are the useful idiot of whom you are speaking. And when I refute you, you say that I am too stupid to understand, and that, hey, I make up my own damn rules, using the continual misunderstanding that anarchy is about being without rules as opposed to being without rulers. An anarchist, just like atheists, are scared running, just wanting to sin, just wanting to be without the nanny government that must be there because they're incompetent, incorrigible children. While behaving yourselves just like the children you speak of. So remember, it's the people who refuse to acknowledge the reality that's right in front of their nose who keep you oppressed, by means of having other people believe in that same bullshit. The issue is not and never was greed. When greed faces competition, the greedy person must innovate or lose business. This keeps greed, quote-unquote, in check. I say greed in quotes because it's predominantly the unhealthy function of a society that's gone mad by means of being systematically robbed. So the PAC stuff won't work, but what will? The elimination of the defense of systematic theft, also known as taxation, via the advocation of anarchy. via the advocacy of anarchy, a society without rulers, a society without chaos, where the rules of society are consistently applied, instead of arbitrarily and monopolistically, such as that government can tax you, but you cannot tax government. This also exists if you have any form of law which is dependent on taxation, because taxation is theft. And you have it dependent on taxation because you have it pre-14th Amendment, which is the Constitution, which has taxation. If you want to look at people currently spreading anarchy, Col Molyneux is an excellent example. So is Larkin Rose. But there are multiple ways to do it, aside from being a sniveling Marxist promoting projectionist and rejecting reason and rationality in favor of emotional political puns. That might seemingly sound great if you don't think about them, but once you do, you realize it's just fluffy air, just like Obama speaks. And notice here that I've called it out, that I've said you're a fool, you're definitely not an anarchist, you're ironically the plan-controlled opposition. See that? And this is the response. You operate by the law, sadly you're too stupid to understand. So this video is not for Frank, nor is it for James. It's the people who are watching this conversation who want to understand what's going on here. This group is Voters Anonymous, and I'm here to help people stop voting and engaging in political action, and this is definitely an example of that. Now, what again is communism? Communism is the ownership of everything by the state. So if the state is so connected with communism like that, maybe you don't want to be advocating any form of government, because any form of government pretty much equates to and goes with and is communism. So you're advocating for pre-14th law, i.e. you're advocating for government. Therefore, you, sir, are advocating for communism. What operative lies, James? You're the one who is in cognitive dissonance. So Frank, I've read the information. Shame on you. Fucking shame on you. I'm very careful where I have my Facebook group membership because I'm aware that there's a lot of shit out there. I try to stay to places that are mainly or basically anarchistic, where I think and know that I can help out with things. I pay attention to the meanings of the groups that I'm in, and I don't go in groups that are minarchistic, or try to stay away from them if at all possible. Voters Anonymous is an anarchistic group designed for anarchists to help others who are getting close to anarchism. That is why I don't support PAC. I do not support going to a law-based system based on the Constitution, based on the pre-14th Amendment era of things. I do not support stealing from people on a systematic basis. If you do, then you're an asshole, and you're a communist, and you're a statist piece of shit. Now, what I imagine is that you can't defend this on a continuing basis. Either we have to be this divisive way about it, or there's some way that you can include yourself and keep face in regards to this massive intrusion on human rights and privacy and freedom. I don't necessarily yet think that you're evil. I think that you're horribly misguided and projecting a ton and trying to encase the entire world in global communism, the very thing that you say that you speak against. Now, if you want to preach your statism somewhere else, feel free to. I am here defending this space because it is, from what I understand, anarchistic. Yes, words and labels do have meaning and mean things. That is why I defend them. So yeah, that's why I don't support the PAC.